Kia ora team, welcome back. It's episode 2 of the Bookshop Detectives blog, podcast, vlog thing. And I'm Louise Ward, and this is...
Gareth Ward.
And between us we are the Bookshop Detectives. We own 2 bookstores in Hawke's Bay, Havelock North and Napier, Wardini Books. And we've had quite the week, haven't we?
We have. We've had a very bookish week.
Yeah.
So we had book clubs on Tuesday and Wednesday, and we all read the same book at our book club. We were reading Enlightenment by Sarah Perry, and you and I both absolutely loved it, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was fantastic. There was this brilliant character, Thomas Hart, who we both fell in love with. I think he was such a wonderful soul, and it was interesting because it's not a book that I would necessarily say was a Gareth book, but I really enjoyed it.
So it's set in Essex, where Sarah Perry seems to set her books. That's where her heart lies. And Thomas Hart is a journalist, and he is a very gentle soul, isn't he? And he has kind of a double life. He goes to Bethesda Church, and he goes to London on the weekends and lives a separate life there that we won't spoil for you. His loves in life are Grace Macaulay, who he bonded with when she was a tiny, tiny baby, in a very wholesome, innocent way, I might add. And she's his wretched child. And he's quite obsessed with Lowlands Manor, which is an old stately home where Mr. Bell used to live. And he had a Romanian wife, Maria Vardova, in the 1800s. And she was an astronomer. And that's going to be very relevant to the story. But it was the syntax, just the way that she writes. You can have a whole paragraph in one sentence, and the way that she can just describe things was just quite incredible, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just beautiful writing. I mean, there was a lot of description, and generally I prefer books that don't have a lot of description. I like ones that get on and have a pacey plot and really, get on with the story. But the writer was just so beautiful. You were happy to savour it. And a couple of people in book club didn't quite finish the book in time, and they said, I didn't want to rush it. I wanted to savour every word, and that's the sort of book it was. So I don't just think it's a book for everyone, but I think people that do like it will absolutely love the writing, and it's long listed for the Booker, I believe. It
absolutely
and I can
is.
absolutely see why. It's the sort of book that when you read some of the sentences, you think, oh, I'm never going to write anything that good, eh?
And also it fills you up, it's just the beauty of the writing. So
Yes.
highly recommended from us too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of the people at book club.
Yeah. And then you had a surprise R&Z interview.
Yes, a book review. So once every couple of months I do a little tiny book review on Radio New Zealand, and they were down a chap this week. So I don't know if someone was sick, but I had an emergency email saying, you couldn't hop on tomorrow and do a book review, could you? And I said, yes, I can. And it was another Perry, it was Rob Perry, and a little book called Dog, quite simply. And it's set in England, again, I think it's kind of like East Anglia or somewhere like that. And a young man meets a dog on a beach, and the bond that they form is just incredible. It's one of those beautiful books where a young man learns what it is to be human and make connections through the power of having an animal to look after.
Through the power of loving a doggo.
Loving a doggo, absolutely. So that was a beautiful book. So that's Dog. And I Googled Europa Editions, the publisher, and they are a derivative or an imprint of an Italian publisher who wanted to bring books from all around the world, like intercontinental flavours, into their publishing house. And Catherine Chidgey is on that list. Axeman's Carnival is on that. Is it published overseas as a Europa edition? Yeah. Fun fact.
Old Chidders.
Old Chidders. She gets about.
She does. I heard she got told off for dancing at the school disco. I saw that on Facebook.
She did too. There you go. Follow Catherine if you can. I don't know if that was her private one though. So Gareth's just spilling industry secrets. Yeah. What happened next in our week?
Then Friday morning we had Sam the Trap Man.
Yeah. So Sam Gibson has written a book called Sam the Trap Man. That's his Instagram handle. And he's up the line in Gisborne, and it looks on the surface like a hunt, shoot and fishing book, very out there in the bush. And if you flick through the pictures, we'll confirm that. But also, it's the most incredible story of conservation. Sam's a conservationist. So much so that an initiative that he's been involved with to get more blue ducks out and about on the streets of Gisborne has resulted in just that. So there were very few numbers of Theo blue ducks, but now they are being squished on the roads a little bit, which is kind of a double-edged sword, a mixed blessing.
A double-edged tyre.
A double-edged tyre, yeah. But anyway, so the book is just gorgeous, actually. It's got poetry in it and beautiful foraged food photography and recipes and things. So highly recommend.
And I love the fact that New Zealand has 2 degrees of separation because his mum used to come to our book club, didn't she?
Yeah.
Which was great.
Yes, so the Mum Network was slightly involved in getting Sam to come to the shop, I think.
Well done, Mum.
Yeah, well done, mums. Yes, and then we went off to the seething metropolis of Palmerston North.
Yeah. And that was, I love Palmerston North.
It was great.
The buildings are fantastic. It was lovely to walk around the streets and just look up at all the fantastic shop fronts. And
Ward
facades.
Brothers, 1911.
Ward Brothers, yes, nothing to do with us.
Nothing at all.
That was nice. And we had an event at the library. It's a wonderful, beautiful library. So we were being quizzed by Bing Turkby about our writing and our books. There were some really fantastic questions. Probably the most important one of which was who stacks the dishwasher properly, which obviously I do and you don't.
There was some controversy and yes. Moving along. So the library in Palmerston North, if you haven't been, is bang next door to Bruce Mackenzie Bookshop. And there's this door that comes out of Bruce Mackenzie Bookshop straight into the library, more or less. It's just the coolest thing.
It's like a magic door.
Yeah. So Louisa was able to bring out the books and sell them in the library as part of our talk. And Bing Turkby has 2 personalities. That's his pen name. But when he's working at the library, he's Craig. And he interviewed us very adroitly, I thought.
Yes. And we met him as he's the cosy crime author of Guitar Store Mysteries.
Bing Turkby.
Yep. And he is probably the preeminent cosy crime guitar mystery writer in Palmerston North,
I
I
would
believe.
say he is, yes.
But his mantle as the preeminent cosy crime writer in Palmerston North is under hot dispute because we also met G.B. Ralph, who does the Milverton Mysteries.
Yeah.
And we had a good chat with him. We did a writing workshop on the Saturday and he came along to that, and we had some really good discussions about writings and the bits that we all find difficult or love or hate, and it was a really good session.
It was wonderful, and we just enjoyed hanging out in Palmerston. We've got friends there. Mary from Schrodinger's Books in Petone came up and came out for the night as well, so that was rather lovely. And we went to Tony's Pizza, highly recommend.
Yes, because you can have doggos there, which we didn't know, and we didn't have Stevie on this trip, but next trip maybe we will, because we know Stevie can go for a pizza.
Good pizza, good beer, and you can play video games, like old-fashioned ones, can't you? Sit on the couch, crochet blanket, off you go. They've got a pinball machine. Yeah, it's all going on in Palmerston.
It was a good evening. I think we've possibly rambled enough now, haven't we?
Yeah, I think we'll give you a break now. So where are we off? We're off to Wellington and its environs next week, so you might hear a bit about that next week.
So we're going to
Schrodinger's
Books on Thursday night. We've got Unity Books on Friday lunchtime, and we've got Marsden Books Saturday sort of late afternoon, early evening, and then we're going to Books & Co.
in Otaki
on Sunday about lunchtime, and then Mewingtons on maybe about 2ish on the Sunday. So we're
having a lovely time.
We're having a lovely time. We'll bring you more reports of wonderful bookshops.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Matiwa.